Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching in on us on our little video today. I hope everything and everybody is well where you are. If you don't know me already, my name's Sam and I'm from the communities team at the Eden Project. And today marks 3 months until the big lunch, which is happening on the 7th and 8th of June this year. And there's definitely a feeling of spring in the air with the blue skies that we've been having here anyway. So I hope you have been as well where you are. And the big lunch, of course, is the national celebration of community, bringing people together in spaces and places all over the UK since 2009, with a little bit of food, a little bit of fun, to show a little bit of friendship. That is it. And that's why we call today big lunch how simple it is, because that's the simplicity. It's just about being kind to one another and extending that bit of friendship. And we have a law here that the more people that take part in the big lunch, the better the weather is going to be. So last year 10 million people took part and it was a wonderful sunny day. So so the more people that take part, the better the weather will be. So whether it's with a couple of neighbours on your road or in your block, whether it's a community picnic in the park, or maybe you're a community group inviting new people to join in your team or to find out about what's going on, or perhaps it's work colleagues getting together with each other or their customers, it really does work for everyone. And last year, with those 10 million people taking part, I think that's the thing that that motivated people, perhaps, that we can take it as a tool and use it in whatever way that works for you. It is just about extending that little bit of time with others. I've been holding big lunches for a couple of years now, and I just wanted to show a couple of them to you today. One of these was taken in my front garden and the other was in my back garden. One was on a lovely day, one was on a not so nice day. But there are just maybe 10 of us crammed into my garden, and it was such a lovely time because we had people that were brand new to the street and people that had been there for years and years and years. And do you know what? They hadn't met. So the takeaway for me from these couple of days have been that even if it's just about us getting to know each other's names and no longer getting in our cars and driving to work, but actually stopping and saying hi to one another, that was a massive win for us, because it changed the dynamic and the way that we care for one another on our street. So today we have 4 other people coming to chat to us about their big lunches and how they've used it where they live to bring people together in different ways. And so hopefully through their stories, we'll be able to pick up a little bit of inspiration or a few ideas for how you might be able to join in this June. And if you've got any questions for any of the presenters today, just pop them on the Facebook post and we will be there to answer them for you as soon as we've finished this recording. So I'm going to welcome Kath and Selwyn, Aileen and Shelley. Thank you so much. Welcome. Thank you for joining us today and yeah, spending some time with us to share your stories of your big lunches. So let's start with some introductions. Could we just take a moment just to say who you are, where you are, and if you represent a community group or an organisation or a project, to let us know what that is. Kath, you're first on my screen. I'm going to come to you first.
Hi, I'm Kath. I'm from Edinburgh and I'm representing Waverley Park and Waverley Terrace and probably Spring Gardens. We had a big street party the last 2 years.
Fantastic. Thank you, Kath. Selwyn, you're next.
Hi, I'm Selwyn Johnston. I live in a small rural community in County Fermanagh, just the most westerly part of the UK. And we've been organising big lunches for several years now, like many communities, and really a lifeline since we've transitioned out of COVID and the cost of living increase. So I work in the mental health field, so I appreciate the value of connecting with others.
Perfect. Thank you, Selwyn. Aileen, over to you.
Hello, I'm Aileen. I am in Wales. I have organised a big lunch last year for a youth club that we're trying to restart. But a couple of years prior to that, we have organised big lunches with our street, our neighbours, like you mentioned for you, which is, getting to know the neighbours rather than just jumping into the car.
Perfect. Thank you, Aileen. And Shelley, last but not least. Oh, Shelley, I think you might be on mute.
Apologies, I'm here now. Hi, my name is Shelley Varden and I work for a Royal British Legion care home based in Warwickshire in the Midlands. So we look after about 100 residents and they're all from the armed forces community. So they're veterans or ex-serving personnel or families of. But also at Glamis, we have a really unique setting in that we have a community hub and cafe that's really popular. So that enables us to reach different community groups. It's like a front door to the community for us. So with our big lunch this year, we invited about 50 to 60 people and combined the community groups with residents from the home. And we had a brilliant time and we're doing it again this year.
Fantastic. It's so lovely to have such a mix of styles, shapes and sizes, because one size doesn't fit all, and that's the beauty of it, isn't it? I always think of it, the big lunch, as a tool, really, you know, in order to unlock your community in whatever way and wherever that may be. Brilliant. So yeah, it'd be lovely to hear a little bit more about your big lunches and your experiences of it. So if we could do the rounds one more time, and just tell us a little bit more about what you did and why that was important to do that where you are. So Kath, you're in the hot seat first.
Okay, so as I say, we held a street party the last 2 years, which were very successful, and a bit like you in your street, Sam. I met lots of neighbours that I had never seen before. Some were new to the neighbourhood, that's why I hadn't seen them, but other ones had been here for nearly the same length of time as me. So that's a lot of years, and I couldn't believe that I hadn't met them or seen them. So that was great to get chatting to just different people. And now when you meet people in the street that were at the street party, you just pick up where you left off and you just start chatting again. So there was quite a few of us got together. We held meetings in the pub to decide what we were going to do for the street party. Local businesses gave us the use of tables and things like that for free, which was great. Some local shop donated foodstuffs, drinks and things to us, which was great as well. Everybody brought food to share and drinks and things like that. And it was just, the community spirit was just, I thought, fantastic. And it was just great to meet lots of different new people and all come together and get the street looking really good and put the bunting up, over the street in people's windows and things like that. So the street looked absolutely fantastic. And as you said, the weather was fantastic the last 2 years as well. So that really helped, because we don't have a plan B if the weather's not good. So yeah, it was just great getting everybody together and meeting different people, and having a nice relaxed time of it.
That's fantastic. And I loved the use of the creative use of those pallets as well. One to help you close the road, and then you had the splatter rat as well. So
yeah.
Sometimes the planning is as important as the day, right? Because you said you all met in the pub. I can imagine that some people had a great time during the planning stages of it as well, and getting those pallets ready together.
Yeah. It was good. It was just good fun, a couple of relaxed meetings to organise things and who was going to do what, and games, and music was organised as well. Somebody came and sang a song. Then we had another neighbour plays the bagpipes, so he was playing the bagpipes. It was just great. It was super.
That's brilliant. And I love that you found people to play the music and the bagpipes, because that's another thing. We don't always know what skills people have behind their front doors, and without the permission to come forward and use them. And that's exactly what you did. So that's brilliant. Oh, thank you, Kath. Thank you for sharing that. Just one highlight. Do you have one highlight, Kath, that you could share?
Not one. The whole thing was a highlight for me, actually. Just
perfect.
Honestly, just meeting different people and just the nice relaxed feeling on the 2 days that we had the street party. It was the whole thing was it for me.
Brilliant. Thank you, Kath. Selwyn, I'm going to come for the same question with you around what you did in Enniskillen and why that worked in the way that it did for you.
Hi, well, our first big lunch started with just a few people, and now we have lunches located in schools, libraries, community groups, and right across the neighbourhood. But we did feel a bit braver a few years ago, and just after COVID, when we were all trying to get back into the flow of things, and our local charities and volunteer groups came together, celebrating Volunteer Week and Month of Communities, and we just joined together to host a bigger lunch and promoting the service and support they provide, in addition to free family fun and music. And it also linked with various celebrations like the Queen's Platinum Jubilee, Coronation, and D-Day. And in 2024, our Big Lunch and Family Fun Day showcased over 50 local volunteer and charity groups and attracted over 8,000 people, with everyone bringing their own picnic and many sharing their picnic with other people, which is lovely. So, I mean, it's been lovely to bring volunteer groups and charities together, and they've all embraced it, and everybody plays their part. I mean, it's contributing what they can to make it a success. And a lot of our volunteer groups have all managed to get new volunteers out of it, and it's been very good for the community groups and charities, and a greater awareness of the support, but the activities that are available, and a sense of connection. So it's been a great impact within our community.
That's brilliant. I can notice in some of these pictures, Selwyn, that it encompasses the whole lot, because the top right picture with you've got your voluntary groups, in that big shared area, and I can see that some of them have used it to actually raise valuable funds for what their cause is as well. So I can imagine that you might not know the figure, but I can imagine that a lot of really valuable voluntary groups managed to raise a pound or two to help them with their causes, right?
Well, absolutely. I mean, the big lunch, it's a fabulous free gift for anyone to organise in the community, but it's not a competition for the largest or best, and neither is any catches or conditions. You just make it your own, you do it your own way. But a lot of the charities and groups actually able to raise money through that, and many thousands of pounds were raised by people visiting these various stands and just engaging with people through the big lunch format. And it was absolutely fabulous. And in fact, so we're planning our next one this year, and people are always saying, when are you holding the next one, and where's it going to be, and the different formats of that. So absolutely fabulous. Can't recommend it highly enough.
Fantastic. And just finally, Selwyn, you touched on there about all of those groups coming together to plan something, because sometimes you don't have to do it on your own. Some people will know just their next door neighbour, and drop the idea to them and get something going, whereas you obviously have lots of contacts to make that bigger platform happen. But it's that thing about a problem shared is a problem halved, isn't it? That if you work with others to plan a big, particularly if you're wanting to plan a bigger one, that it really helps, doesn't it?
I think if you chat to like-minded people in your community about hosting one, it could be a local library, a charity, a community group, a school, a church, a friend, a neighbour. I mean, it's going to be one of thousands hosted throughout the UK, and it's lovely. Just if everyone does a little small bit together, you all come together and host that larger one, and showcasing, Volunteer Week and the opportunity to get volunteers for your organisation. And you never know the surprises that happen along the way. We were in 2023. We had the surprise visit by Their Majesties the King and Queen came along to our big lunch and attended, and just quite a surprise out of the blue. So you never know what's going to happen along the way, and that's the beauty of it.
Oh, there we go. And I was going to ask you your highlight, but maybe that was it, Selwyn.
Absolutely. I mean, it's lovely whenever the royal family actually visit, and of course Queen Camilla, she is the patron of the Eat Project and the Big Lunch, and just to meet people who have organised big lunches, to give them the support and encouragement, and to see firsthand the valuable work that it does. It was lovely for us, and just to sit down and have some tea and sandwiches and cake with everybody, and in such a relaxed way, just fantastic, and a memory for everyone.
Wonderful. Thank you, Selwyn. Aileen, next up for you. Same question. Tell us a little bit more about what happened with you and how that worked for you.
Okay. If you don't mind, I will go over two big lunches we have done, because hopefully this year they will merge together. So after lockdown, we had starting to develop a little street a WhatsApp group and getting to know our neighbors. So one year, but yeah, about 2 years ago, we thought, right, let's have a picnic in the park. We live opposite a lovely park. And one of our neighbor who just moved in the streets before lockdown into a chapel, he'd organized a Christmas tree one year, a real Christmas tree, which was lovely, but expensive. So we thought, we'll have a big lunch in the park and we'll just go for donations towards the tree for this year. And there was about 25 of us, the same as with the other two big lunch you mentioned. Everybody just brought something. So in terms of organization, there was nothing. We all set a date and said it'll be that day about 12, and come with some food and a blanket and a chair, and there we are. So organization, very simple, which means no stress for anyone. I remember at that time getting in touch with the Big Lunch local team to say last minute, have you got any bunting, anything? And they sent me, said, well, we've run out this year, but we have all this stock from the year before. There you go. So we got those little invites that were in the kids, which are brilliant. So the kids just put them through in all the letterboxes in the streets, and that's all we did. And it was lovely. There was about 25 of us. We raised money for the Christmas tree that year. So we've been doing that for a couple of years. And in the past 2-3 years, I've been involved in restarting a youth club locally that has been closed for 7 years, but it's a massive part of the community over the years. Obviously, I'm not from here, but the history of that club is insane. And as you said, the building was derelict. So we haven't opened it. We only have a little courtyard outside. That's a little bit, not very health and safety. But we put tables in the right place, and nobody could trip. Exactly as you can see. And basically we planned that the week before. The weather was going to be nice, and I thought, you know what, let's just go for it. Whoever turns up, turns up. If nobody turns up, at least we would have been in the street. So we aimed for right from after school during the week as well. So it wasn't the weekend. So did not take any time off or pressure on the volunteers at the weekend. And basically we popped into IKEA, got some glasses, got some cutlery. We made some cakes, and there we are. So we had the banners outside, advertised on social media. The other little trick we did, because it was just before the election and there was a big campaign, I have a few contacts with local councillors. So I thought, you know what, just to raise the profile for the charity, I'll just send invites. And we actually got contacted by the local Labour MP office to say, oh, can we pop in? Like, yes, fine, just come on. We want all the adverts we can have. So we didn't raise any money for anything. It was just more a question of, this is the club. We are reopening. We are working towards this. We're not asking anyone for anything. We don't want your money. We don't want your time. Pop in. We had a lovely guest coming down from Mid Wales, from the Eden Project. Thank you very much, Sam. It was lovely to see you. It was nice support. It was really, really, really lovely to have you there. And after that, we just basically had a lot of good feedback. So I was just wanting to point out how you don't have to be super organized. It's great if you organize or if you have the time, but you don't have to have everything perfect in place, or it doesn't have to be a big thing.
It was a wonderful day, Eileen, and it was so lovely. It was like perfectly the right time, the right place to capture the people that you wanted to engage at that time. So it was absolutely spot on.
We had lots of kids coming in from school, and like, oh, there's cakes, and what are you doing in here now? And so that was lovely. So when we reopen, they will know that, hopefully they have a memory of that. So that was lovely.
So many people were saying when what's the date of the reopening, just on that day. So already you've gathered, lots of support and enthusiasm around it. It's perfect. Thank you for sharing that.
No, it was lovely. And the fact that, we didn't have to think over it for 3 months. So now this year we're planning to do a big lunch, a big picnic in the park, but open to the public. So to go around the issues of food and hygiene, and we've decided there's not going to be any sale of anything. People will bring their own picnic, and then we'll have good old-fashioned games like Spat the Rat and sack race and things like that. So it's just simple, but hopefully friendly.
Exactly. Simple, fun, and yeah, like you say, extending that friendship. Thank you for that example. Shelley, so you've got a completely different example, haven't you, of how you use the big lunch? You've touched on it earlier around how to connect people that you're supporting in the care home with their community. So tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so we hosted our big lunch, and we used it as an opportunity with the community hub to reach out to local groups that we wanted to engage with. So we invited the local food bank and the volunteers that run that, a local luncheon club, the guys that run the local allotment, so all based around food. Our volunteers that volunteer here at Galana's house. And in the Midlands, we're part of a new scheme, which is called Warwickshire Food Champions. So we invited the new food champions as well. Oh, there you go. And also with our military connection, we invited the younger generation. So we invited the air cadets and the local sea cadets. We invited the mayor and other local dignitaries. And you can see here that we're really lucky because we have really great facilities. We have a catering team behind us, so they've put on a magnificent buffet. It was really just a really lovely, fun day just to see the intergenerational mix as well between the residents and the cadets. We were going to host it outside, but unfortunately it wasn't. The weather wasn't on our side on the day, so we brought it inside because it was a little bit windy. So it was very cozy, but a lovely atmosphere. Oh yes, month of community. I can talk about that in a moment. So with the residents from the care home, it really gave them an opportunity to mix with people in the community as well. And obviously you've got a room full of 50 to 60 people that don't actually really know each other. So we use the resources that are available on the Big Lunch website. So there were some cards which were sort of like conversation starters. We also, our wellbeing manager also hosted the official Big Lunch quiz for us. That was really good because even if you didn't know the answer, you could just, it was multiple choice, so everyone could get involved. That was brilliant. And obviously I said that we're really lucky because we have a full catering team behind us. So also on the Big Lunch website, there was the lemon and poppy seed recipe. So I think that was one of the celebrity recipes. So our catering team made that for us on the day. So that was really good. And then obviously the links to the military, we also provided some World War II cakes, just as like a World War II cake recipe, just as like a talking point to get people to know each other. And with the residents, I said we sort of like budded them up and situated them around the room within the different groups, and they really loved the varied conversations that were going on. So it was a really good atmosphere, a good day in all. And we also had some entertainment from one of our regular entertainers on the keyboard. So he kind of played wartime classic songs, like sing-along songs and songs that everybody knew. So really got the atmosphere going. I just think if you're hosting a big lunch, you've got nothing to lose. You can't anticipate the connections that are going to come out of that day, and what that means to those people that are there. Just all really very positive.
Yeah, that's right. A few of you said that there's no agenda to it. You know, there's no catch. Nobody's trying to catch anybody out. It is just about extending that friendship.
Yeah, I mean, our day was free. Everybody that we invited came along. We didn't do any fundraising that day. It was just a lovely get together and making new connections.
Fabulous. Thank you, Shelley.
Okay.
Thank you all so much for that. That was really lovely. You know, I already feel like I've got a spring in my step just hearing those stories again and going back over those lovely photos. And do trust that what you've done has made a massive impact. You know, where you are. So thank you for that. Like a few people said, we do have the free downloadable Big Lunch pack, which is available to download now with all of those lovely resources that a few people spoke about. There's a new quiz there this year. There'll be a new recipe, and then later in the month, for anybody that wants to, you'll be able to pop your Big Lunch plans onto the map so that everybody can see where they are, and they can be booked as private or public as well. So we wouldn't share exactly where it is unless it's a public event. And then finally, we've got a Big Lunch how-to workshop coming up at the end of the month on the 27th of March. For anybody that might be new to the Big Lunch or want to come along just to maybe hear about some new ideas that they might want to introduce, we'll pop that into the post below so that people can sign up to that as well. But thank you all very much for speaking and sharing your stories today. Really appreciate that. I'm going to end with a short video, but for now we'll say goodbye. But thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Right.
We're bringing the bunting.
I'm bringing the fairy cakes.
I'm bringing my disco ball.
I'm bringing some tea and some yummy cakes.
I'm bringing hummus and some traditional flatbread.
We are bringing fresh vegetables.
I'm bringing the pasties.
I'm bringing a bit of cheese.
I'm bringing a donation jar to raise money for my community.
I'm bringing the music.
We're bringing our dog Bunny. I'm bringing some laughter.
I'm hoping to bring some sunshine, like this. The Big Lunch takes place on the first weekend in June. Millions of us will be taking part, and you can too. It's a chance to share friendship, food and fun, and to get to know your neighbours better. So what will you be bringing to the table? Come and join in at thebiglunch.com.